And now, enjoy a life rich with results on The Rich Life with Anita Rich.
Good morning. Woo, yeah. Woo, woo, woo. Back at you. All right, so here we go. Out with the old and in with the new. And Happy New Year. Okay, you guys still drinking? I mean, like, seriously, you still drinking? Well, my name is Anita Rich, and I'm going to be your host of The Rich Life, coming to you live from Sunset Gower Studio. And I want you to know that I am beyond shocked, thrilled, and delighted. I understand that there's people actually watching and listening into the show. Like, whoa! I mean, who would have known and who would have thought? And I want you guys to know that this year, I'm going to stop fooling around. I haven't really been fooling around, but I really didn't know what I was doing. And, of course, some will still say, you're on your way, girl. You still don't. But that's fine, because it just goes to show you that if I, who've never been in radio or in front of people, except in a group of, 46 people signing escrow papers, and then they get a house. So that's fine. I've decided to take on something that was pretty scary, out of the box, something I've never done before. Why am I telling you this? I won't go into great detail because I've done on enough shows, but I am a refugee from a war time in Budapest, Hungary, and English is my third language, and I have come a long way. I had a marriage that didn't work. I stayed in it for 20 years. I have 3 children. I've been a single mom. So whatever your story is, I'm sure that I've either had a taste of it or know of someone who has. So why am I doing this show? I'm really not doing it so I can run at 12:02 when I'm supposed to be here 11:45 to the studio to do the show, because I have this idea that there's more time to do things than there really is. But because I really feel that deep down in my heart, I want to make a difference. If there was a Rich Life show years ago when I thought, I'm never going to be able to do this. I will not be able to raise 3 children by myself. I will not be able to explain to my mother's friends why after 20 years I got a divorce. Yes, when I told my mother I had to get a divorce, she said, what will my friends say? So there's different things that you have to live through. But, actually there's no better time than now. I'm going to totally digress because it's what I do, and it's what I do best. And I'm going to share with you something that about 118 people responded to. So it must have said something to somebody. And my friend Valerie actually shared this with me. It is not my story, although I'm going to read it as though it were. And I just want to share this with you and see if you feel the way I did. I wish you enough is what it's called. And recently, I overheard a mother and daughter in their last moments together at the airport as the daughter's departure had been announced. Standing near the security gate, they hugged, and the mother said, I love you, and I wish you enough. The daughter replied, Mom, our life together has been more than enough. Your love is all I ever needed. I wish you enough too, Mom. They kissed, and the daughter left. The mother walked over to the window where I sat, and standing there, I could see she wanted to and needed to cry. I tried not to intrude on her privacy, but she welcomed me in by asking, did you ever say goodbye to somebody knowing that it would be forever? Yes, I have, I replied. Forgive me for asking, but why is this a forever goodbye? I'm old. She lives so far away. I have challenges ahead, and the reality is the next trip will be back for my funeral, she said. When you were saying goodbye, I heard you say, I wish you enough. May I ask what that means? And so she began to smile. She paused for a moment, and she said, that's a wish that's been handed down from other generations. My parents used to say it to everyone. She paused a moment and looked up as if trying to recall. She said, when we said, I wish you enough, we were wanting the other person to have a life filled with just enough good things to sustain them. Then turning toward me, she shared the following, reciting it from memory. I wish you enough sun to keep your attitude bright. I wish you enough rain to appreciate the sun more. I wish you enough happiness to keep your spirit alive. I wish you enough pain so that the smallest joys in life appear much bigger. I wish you enough gain to satisfy your wanting. I wish you enough loss to appreciate all that you possess, and I wish you enough hellos to get you through the final goodbyes. She then began to cry and walked away, and then she said, it takes a minute to find a special person, an hour to appreciate them, a day to love them, an entire life to forget him. Okay, I made it. I wasn't sure I was going to make it, but I made it. So I wish you enough. And what is enough? Is having a new car every year enough? Is living in a beautiful home enough? Being married, having children? Or is enough that you are finally feeling is enough to say, my life will be great when I have a new car, or when I have that better job, or when I have a love person in my life? So what is really enough for you? Well, we could cover all that. I know enough people in LA, believe it or not, or surrounding cities, that I will go out and find them and bring them onto this show and share with you how to get to whatever that enough is. Now, I call it the rich life, not because it has to do with your bank account. Unfortunately, I've been in real estate for 31 years, and I've met millionaires, gazillionaires. And you know what? They're not happy. So being rich could be having that cup of coffee with a fresh piece of bread right out of the oven and some fresh butter. Or it's seeing someone's baby, somebody who hasn't had the chance to have a child and finally is able to have one, and seeing the look on their face. It's a different kind of riches that I'm talking about. And if you'll be kind enough to share with me what your challenge is, because if you're saying things like, well, you don't get it, I can't pay my bills, or I haven't had anyone put their arms around me and hug me for the longest time, guess what? Stop the guy in the elevator. I promise you he will. All you have to do is ask. There is so much richness out there and around us. And you know what? Everybody's afraid of everybody. My husband was in the entertainment industry for, 40 years. And I guess it was someone at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer who said, hey, everybody's afraid of everybody and nobody knows anything. And I didn't quite understand. And I thought, I go to movies and these people don't even know what the heck they're doing. Like, what am I doing? And it really turns out that we all have these insane things inside of our heads that we've either read about, heard about, internalized. It's a belief system that either we're not enough, or we don't have enough, or you know this. I'm being so redundant. Tall people want to be short. Short people want to be tall, and on it goes. If you're skinny, you want to be fat, and whatever. And you may think that that's not even so. You go talk to some people who can't gain 5 pounds, and their doctor says, if you don't gain 5 pounds, you're going to die. And I ain't kidding you. So let's live the rich life together. So I welcome you and I thank you. And oh my gosh, my producer told me that there's people listening. So, mwah, big hugs out to you. Please communicate with us, because I really want this to be about you. Because you know by now, I can just talk and talk and talk and talk, make no sense, come from all over the place, come in with stuff that you might not even care about, because I'm the girl that goes to Costco and buys things that nobody needs. You know those? Well, that's me. And so that goes on with also my conversations. But I do feel that I've lived so many lives. Will you join me? Will you let me know what I can do to help? Will you let me know who you need on the show? Listen, if it comes about real estate, I can do that with one hand tied behind my back. 31 years, fabulous team, great success, lots of failure, which is what is the road to success. So don't let that ever stop you. And whatever it is, whether it's about a relationship, 20 years, 3 children later, I was a single divorced mom. Believe me, whatever it is, lack of money, and the word lack is the same as fear. False evidence appearing real. It doesn't exist, because if you've had breakfast this morning, you don't have lack. It's your self-talk. It's what you believe in. It's what you tell yourself. It's who you hang out with, who also adds to what you believe in. So if you've never been uncomfortable, and if you've never gone outside of the box, you don't care about growing, because there's no other way. So in a couple of minutes, we will be back, And man, oh man, do I have a guest for you today. Wait till you meet this one. See you soon. Hello, hello, and welcome. Wow, can you believe that? That is like the #1 song everywhere. So thank you for listening. Well, welcome back. And I got to tell you, I am super excited because, by the way, did you know that I, with the exception of I Wish You Enough, I never have any notes. So I never know what the heck we're going to say or talk about. I never have any notes with my guests because I don't have any guests that are scripted. And today, least but not least, I got daring enough to have an amazing, yeah, you've probably seen her before, actress, and an amazing real estate broker because people won't let her out of real estate long enough for her to be, you know, the #1 actress out there. And her name is Gina St. John. So talk about fat. Woo!
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
And thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me back. I so appreciate it.
You've been here before?
You know what? I was here for your very first show. And
I wasn't here.
And we were all having an out-of-body experience as well. It's like they've got the video of the bodies being there, but we can guarantee you that we weren't. I was really impressed that you allowed me back unscripted because you know exactly what may come out of my mouth, and the fact that you were taking that kind of a chance. You know?
I welcome it. I welcome it. Listen, I had a morning of mornings. I'm here. You're here. You know, my producer showed up. John showed up. I'm like beyond excited. So woohoo!
Thank you both. Thank you both.
Yeah, shout out to everybody. And, you know, really seriously, this is amazing. And the fact that you're here and willing to have a conversation with me. So here's what we're going to do.
Uh-huh.
We're going to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that looks like, but go, G, go.
Oh, well, I'll be glad to. No, seriously, we were talking about earlier this week about getting together and what we plan on getting done this year, because for those of you who don't know, I am the senior agent for the Rich Group, headed by the COO. Sitting next to me, Anita Rich, not just a radio host and a mother and a grandmother and a broker, but she's the head of our team. And I feel quite blessed to be on your team and supporting you.
I wouldn't have a team without you.
Nice answer. You understand why I stay. It's the compliments. So I was saying to her earlier, oh, nice. Oh, he's going to play me out with these sound effects. This is going to be a good time. So
it was natural. It came from the sky.
Didn't it, Jess? I felt the fairy dust. That's what you bring. And that is why I always say to her, I said, Anita has her own fairy dust. There you go. She comes in with the thing that she does, and you don't know where it's coming from or where it's going to take you, but you just follow her fairy dust and where it blows, and you end up in the right place, which is why when you first told me you wanted to do this radio show, I thought it was a brilliant idea.
Oh, thank you. You're the only one.
Wait a minute. I spoke to both of those listeners. I'm kidding.
She's my friend. I want you to know why you keep your friends close and your no.
Let me tell you all why I stay so close to Anita, because she's got a kindness and a sweetness and a gentleness.
Don't tell my husband. Because I don't want to live up to any of that.
Yeah, I think he knows. That's why he loves you too. But this is one of the reasons I go around you, because I have a lot of harder edges, and I know that, and you know that.
Because you got a tighter butt.
Oh,
that's not the kind of hard edge. Woo!
I'm working on that one.
Okay, fine.
If you could have seen the lunges that I was doing, I'd rather have an angled bottom if that could work out. But girl, right now it's all soft and plush. We're going to work on that. We were talking about, though, the New Year's resolutions and where we're going to go with it. And I said, yeah, I'm on board. And Anita brings out the softer side and reminds me to think of things like the story you told about enough. Because I tend to be that person that you were talking to saying, well, what about the money? I want enough money. I want enough. I mean, I'm not even going to lie about it. I like enough men, you know, the tall, handsome kind. I want, yes, the kind that give presents. And so Anita reminds me, you know you do, you remind me that there are simpler things in life that also add to the richness of it. And that's why I can't get enough of you. So thank you for that.
You know, I just always think that people who look like you, and there's a few. I'm
dying to know what she means by that. Everyone in the room is kind of like, yes.
When you have a face that gorgeous and you look in the mirror, that alone should be enough. It's such a huge gift, because you know what? I've raised 3 daughters, and they're quite attractive. And I always said to them, you know what? Your looks will get you in, but it's what's between the ears that's going to keep you there. And you have mastered what's between the ears. I've had very serious conversations with you. I've listened to you have political conversations. We've had religious conversations. We've probably talked about just about everything, and I won't go into any more detail.
Wait, sex, drugs, rock and roll, religion, and politics. We pretty much covered everything you're not supposed to talk about.
And not necessarily in that order.
No,
we do have our priorities.
No. Yeah.
But that is the gift. That is the gift, Gina. And and really at the end of the day, I mean, you have so many other gifts, and I don't know why I became softer than you, because I know I've always been a lot edgier than you. And maybe it's only because, and this is not about you, this is about me. For me personally, it didn't pay off. And I still have that real edge to me. Like people always say, not always, but often say to me, God, I know you have honorable intentions, but you have that tone. And I know that I talk strong, and and I don't know where it came from, but when you talk about resolutions, I'm going to talk lower. The other day I was out with a client, and my youngest daughter happened to be with me. I didn't even realize it. I walked into a house and I went, "Oh my God, I love the windows." And she kind of looked at me and she went, "Mom, shh." I mean, the client didn't see it. And I went, "Oh my gosh, I'm screaming. Why am I screaming? I'm not even conscious of the fact that I'm screaming." So we all have little things that we do. I repeat myself. My husband reminds me I'm repeating myself. And I say, "That's fine. Listen to it again." Like it's when you're in the middle, you know how that feeling is. You're like you're on a run and you're in the middle and you just want to tell the story and somebody goes, "I've heard it."
I know.
And
I know.
Like, how do you just
right? He's good.
Okay, he's beyond good.
He's good.
So
Yeah.
you're up because now I'm going to sit here and
No.
sulk.
No. The story, but I do the same thing. I tell the story. I think no one else has heard it before, but there's someone that just reminds you.
No, but you're good. You always say, "Tell me if I've told you before." You have said, "Tell me if you've heard this," or "Tell me if I've told you
Have
before."
I really?
Yeah.
I'm better than I thought. Then
No,
'cause
you
I,
are.
know, I just
you are.
don't. Yeah,
But you
well.
don't repeat yourself. But listen, I'm 40-something. Well, I am 40-something. We won't get into what.
I think the really funny part about New Year's resolutions are a lot of times you choose things that other people want for you.
Ah, good
And
one.
my resolution this year is I'm choosing the things that I want for me.
What are they? I know some you can't share, but there are some that you can.
Oh, well, my list is really long. I seriously, I had got the longest list of New Year's resolutions.
Top 4.
There are no top 4.
Top 2.
There are no top 2.
Okay, one from the top, one from the middle.
Here's what I've decided. I picked like 25 different things I want to do this year minimum. 25.
Okay.
And yeah, it's just I ran out of paper, all the little lines and signing everything. I just ran out of paper and it was at 25. And I realized if I do 5 of them this year, I'm better off than last year where I picked 1 and I didn't do it. And I was disappointed on day 5.
You know me.
What?
For a long time.
Yeah.
I am not going to let you keep going.
Yeah.
Until I hear 1 out of the 25. And you can pick it out from the top, the middle, closer to the bottom, wherever.
I resolved to do your radio show whenever you ask.
That's not a resolution.
I know, but it sounded really good.
It did.
I mean, it's like a bailout. I'm like thinking of something. Well, everybody's got the get in better shape. Yeah, and that's absolutely one of them for me. So I put in honestly, it's the diet, the exercise, because I used to be really, 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 really fit. I mean, hyper fit beyond. And I kind of ran into a little bump last year, again, back with what someone else wants for you. And I was losing a little bit of weight and I was working on it. And one of my friends in my group said, "Oh, don't lose too quickly. We want you to do this in a healthy way." And that's when I realized I should have just ripped her hair out and ripped his throat out. That was my gentle side, folks. Because I need to lose weight for me, and however I need to get there, I get there. Anybody here watch The Biggest Loser?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know that part where they're all getting beat down and beat up and they're on the treadmill and they're losing enormous amounts of weight every week and they're throwing up on the side of the treadmill and Jillian Michaels is looking at them going, "So what? You threw up. Get back on." You know what? No one's looking at them saying, "I hope you're losing it slowly and in a healthy way." No, I hope you're getting a product.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
So
don't give me the healthy way, girl.
I am not. I am
good.
not.
Okay.
I am not. So being fit, why is that important to you?
Because I like to be able to feel good in my own body.
Okay.
I like to, if there's certain things about being a human being One of them is you want to feel good in your clothes. Another one is you want to feel good out of your clothes. You want to feel good in your body. And if the friction between my thighs when I walk is enough to spark off a flame and set a forest fire, I don't want Smokey
I meant to
upset
talk
at
to you
me.
about that in the
Yes.
in the studio
Yes.
lot. The guys that were following, they thought they had the
Yes.
hoses.
They did. I just thought they were happy to see me. It's like, oh, look, bring out the hoses. Wet t-shirt contest. No, I'm kidding. I'm only kidding.
I know you
You
are.
know I am. But seriously,
sounds good.
It's the losing weight and getting in shape, because this year, oh my God, and given the fact that I am 98. 98.
I'm 40-something. She's 30-something.
I am 90.
Put that in your hat and smoke it.
8 point, what's the body temperature?
Ooh!
I'm just a little bit cooler than that. No, I want to be able to wear, at my age, a bikini on the beach come summer.
Okay.
That is a goal of mine.
So let me tell you what I've been told. I've been told, did you hear what I said? I've been told.
Oh, I heard.
I'm not telling you.
You know, I
I've
was
been
listening.
told that, what the hell was I told?
About weight loss? More
yeah.
than 2 pounds a week or some
No,
such joke?
That I am a high producing type person.
Yeah.
And if somebody says to me, you need to lose weight, I probably won't do it because I don't want to lose anything.
Oh.
So I need to rephrase what I say to myself. So I need to say, I want to be as healthy as humanly possible at a weight that is in alignment with my comfort level, such as looking good in my clothes, running behind Gina, because I'll have to have her cover me up, in a bikini by the summer, whatever it is. And I thought to myself for a little bit, and I thought, you know what? That does fit for me because I don't want to lose anything. And then, of course, when you say, well, why do I want to be fit? Well, we've talked about my having a grandson and having another baby on the way. And for me, I want to be able to run around after them without my daughter saying, Mom, unless there's someone else there with you, you can't do this on your own because I will die. So that means healthy means that kind of healthy.
We're not doing this kind of therapy today.
Okay.
Today is all about
It's
the New Year's
not
resolution.
Therapy. I'm
Yeah.
very happy. So my
Okay, good.
resolution is to not lose anything, but to be in that place. And I also realize that diet or losing weight doesn't work for me. The only
Right.
thing that works for me is taking on a certain lifestyle. So maybe if it means not eating bread 5 days a week, like when somebody says, cut out the bread and the sugar and the pasta, I can't do that. But if you say to me, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, just go without having bread. Great, because I've got all the other days to do it. Or don't, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, you're just going to have vegetables and a piece of protein and, oatmeal, whatever it is. The other thing I realized that I have to do is that I've got to write out what I'm going to eat and I've got to plan for it. Like Sunday, I got to cook for a few days and Wednesday. It's the only way that I can do it.
But wait a minute. You know what you're saying right now?
What?
Exactly what I was saying before.
Okay.
Which is the way someone else thinks you should do it is not necessarily right for you.
You're right. But I did have somebody else tell me and I subscribed to it. I allowed this to be, I decided to own it.
Yeah. Well,
I
you
just
know
don't know.
how you function best
Exactly.
and how you achieve your goals. So yes, you would like to achieve a certain level of health and fitness, and you would like to achieve a certain lifestyle and balance with your health.
I
But
want the rich life.
you want the rich
baby.
life, but you don't want to lose anything. So anybody who speaks to you in a certain way, that does
You're
not
right.
indicate to you.
You're right.
And just like to me, it's like, don't sit there and tell me slow and steady is the way to go. I'm like, if I get too slow and too steady and I don't see the results I need,
You're not gonna
I'm
do it.
done.
Yeah.
So I think everybody, if you just honor what it is that you want,
Or
and
don't tell people.
do that.
Don't tell people.
Don't tell
everybody.
a soul, as she asks me to tell her one of my 25, the top 5, the
Okay.
top 4, the bottom, the top, and
But
the
I
middle.
mean, don't go to your friends to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to
Oh,
do that.
no.
Or just go to certain friends like me who will just say, whatever you do, I will applaud and I'm delighted with whatever you're doing.
But you know that I'm the first one to subscribe to the, if it's dear to me, I keep it in my heart. Don't need to give it to everybody else. It's dear to me.
Except sometimes what I'm also told is, and that I've incorporated is, if I want to do it, I have to say it. Because if I don't say it or hear it out loud, I probably won't do it because I'm not holding myself accountable. Again, this is about me.
It is about you, girl. It's your show.
And I also don't believe that it's, the other thing that I don't believe is that that you can have a resolution. I've set myself up to fail over and over again. Like what's a resolution? Although See, I love this. I say something and then I contradict it even before the sentence, even before the ink has
You all
dried.
do know I'm waiting for this, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
So my resolution is that I am going to be on time.
Oh, I had one of those. Oh, go ahead, girl. This
See
is the
why
choir.
there's certain
Preach.
people that you don't tell things to because it was like, you got to be kidding me. She didn't say it, but that implied. And I'm just like, you know what? That's okay. I will have to walk the talk because that's the only way it's going to matter. But why did I say it out loud? Because there's a lot of people in my life who are involved in my time, such as my assistant, such as people in my team, such as my husband and my children. And this way they can hold me accountable. So, Mom, if we're going to be meeting at 1, will you be there at 1, 1:15, 1:45, 12:55? I realized that it's not because I have a desire to screw around with people's times. It's not about that. I think things take less time in my mind than they do in the world.
Oh, I know. I agree. And just so you'll know, I'm going to be the girl that's going to validate you, not because because there was this underlying joke of today things were a little delayed, and therefore the being on time resolution, the first thing people would tend to do with any resolution is to assume that they have failed.
Yes.
They have failed.
Exactly.
And there is no such thing as failing.
No.
There is no such thing.
Just quitting, right?
Just quitting. Did you continue? Because your only job in life is to continue. If you're walking, to continue to walk. Breathing, inhale, exhale, that is your only job. So as long as you are doing that and you are continuing to better and be better, to better yourself and be better, then no, you will achieve your resolution. What day is it? Today is the last. No, seriously. No.
Who the heck knows? I think it's Monday.
Monday the 6th.
The 6th. It's the 6th. Thank you. 365 days in a year. We're only 6 days in. So what?
Exactly. And I think a lot of the times with the New Year's thing is that there's too much pressure for people to
Absolutely.
get it. It's a habit that needs to be changed that was created maybe 10 years ago. You can't change it overnight.
Habits
Yeah.
are something you work
Yeah.
at. Now, those can be a little slower and steadier.
Exactly.
Just not weight loss.
But I've never seen you late for a show since I worked with you.
This is
the
my
first
second time.
Well, first time for me.
Well, no, not late for a show. I was a guest once, and there were a couple
my.
of challenges.
Oh, okay.
But
Confession is good for the soul, but not for radio, girl. Don't.
write me. What else do you
Don't
wanna
give
know?
it up. You don't have to give it up. I'm just
No,
telling you.
no, I've never been late for a show because in my mind it's like, I want to be here 20 minutes too. And I decided that, just wanting to change something, I don't think it's enough to just want it. To say, okay, I'm going to change that. I think it really needs action steps with it. So for me, the action steps are going to be, no matter what I'm doing, no matter where I am, I'm going to leave at 11 o'clock wherever I am and get into my car. So if I get here, my show's at 12, so, 11:45 is an appropriate time to chat with your guests, have a cup of coffee, whatever. And what I'm going to do is, even if I get here earlier, then I will make sure before I leave that my cell phone is with me, unlike today where I left it with the emergency I had. But regardless, I don't believe in excuses. And even an emergency like I had today, it's just an excuse. Because if I had already been here at the studio, I would have had to figure out another way to make the situation work out instead of my saying, okay, I'm coming over because I had to do something. So everything else is an emergency.
Yeah.
Somebody told me this a long time ago and it just stuck with me.
I know what you're going to say. Go
Which
ahead,
one?
say it.
No,
If you're not blood bleeding.
No.
Okay, never mind.
No, but
that was really scary sounding, wasn't it? I'll get to that later. What
Okay.
what were we going to say?
They said that if you got a call and said you have $3 million, you just have to be here by 8 a.m. tomorrow morning to pick it up. You would never leave your house at 6 a.m. or 6:30. You would either fly or drive or be there the night before.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never forgotten that.
Yeah.
Because I've had people say, oh, my goodness, my flight got canceled, or there was a car accident in front of me, or I got a flat tire. All of that are just excuses, because if you're not there at 8 a.m., you ain't getting that money.
Right.
So what does that mean? That means that I can. I mean, I have an ex-husband who's terribly punctual. I have a current husband who's terribly punctual. I have some business relationships, people I've worked with. I have my assistant. Everybody is terribly punctual. And they love me, thank goodness, but they're getting a little tired of it. And it's not an in-your-face. Yes, I hate to get somewhere and wait for people. I admit that. I hate to wait for people. So why is it okay for me to make you wait for me? It's not. And you know what? I am punctual. I'm not going to say I'm going to be punctual.
Right.
I'm looking at myself saying, I am punctual.
Right.
Got it? Hold me to it.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough. See, that I thought you were going to give that other classic emergency statement that you'd given us.
Go for it. Which one?
The one that said, if no one's bleeding and no one's dying, it's not an emergency. It's like, is there blood involved? Then maybe there's an emergency. You told me that once. And the other one was, like, we'd be in a meeting together. And I said, I need to get my phone. It's an emergency. And she said, there is no emergency in real estate. Nobody's dying and nobody's bleeding. And that's it. There's no loss of life. So
my favorite thing that I'd like to put into real estate is what you get at the doctor's office.
Which is what?
Hi, we're out for lunch. If this is an emergency, hang up and call 911.
I know. I know.
I mean, I'd really love to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other thing, and of course, this is my ADD mind digressing. When we talk about
I don't
emergency,
agree with, but go ahead, yes.
No, this is the emergency. My grandmother always said, every day make sure you have clean underwear because you never know when you're going to have an emergency.
And get hit by a car.
Yeah.
Like, what is that, hit by a car with dirty underwear on?
What is this belief system? We talked about at the beginning of the show about belief systems.
Yes, every grandparent on the planet has told you about your underwear and getting hit by a car, and I just don't know anybody who's been hit by a car. And if you did, no one would be surprised if you pooped your pants. So let's be honest. I don't understand that phrase.
My
to
grandmother's
this day.
not alive. Otherwise, I would share that with her.
Your
and she
mother
would-
said it. I'm sure your mother said it. I know your mom had to have said that.
Oh my God! No, it was actually my grandmother in Hungary. But yeah, it was really funny, and I always thought to myself, so I always have an extra pair. But you know, as you get, but you know,
check your bag.
well, you know, I'm married for a long time now, but I always thought, well, in case I decide to spend the night somewhere.
See, now that's what I call positive thinking, right there. That's what I call
I'm
positive
going to be on time, and
thinking.
never mind.
Yeah, there you go.
So resolutions.
Yes.
What is reasonable? Because I want to impart something for people to leave with. So people make resolutions, they can't accomplish them. What are baby steps that you and I can give them? Because you know what? We accomplish a lot more than we give up.
We do.
We really do. We say, and then we got the boohoo, and then he gets the music of like, you know, like.
Wah, wah. There you go.
I'm going to practice that. I love that.
I can't sing that high. Go ahead.
So what are the things? So let's just pretend, like, let's take the 5 things that the average person thinks about. A lot of them all think about, this year I want to make more money. This year I want to find the love of my life. This year I want to lose weight or be in perfect health. This year I want to actually take a trip and travel.
Yeah.
Oh, give me one more.
This year, well, for me, well, you know, I'm just going to give you a couple of my resolutions. Actually,
I
just
knew I'd get it out of her.
Yeah, of course. Well, the ones I don't mind talking about. For example, I want a TV show this year. I want a show this year. I'm not even going to joke about that.
Okay.
I want a show this year. For those of you who don't know, I used to host a lot of TV shows. I hosted 4 national TV shows, and I was on radio for many, many years. But I would love that, and to incorporate some of the things that we do, that we've known. And I've said that to you before, so that's not shocking. That's not new news for you. But what you do know about me is that I don't like to do anything unless I feel like I'm prepared.
Right.
And what I mean by prepared is there's some absolutely procrastinating moves that I will pull off to keep myself from having to do that thing that I need to get done. I know that. So this year, my resolution, what I have resolved to do, is to be certain that what I have is enough to get me there. Now, maybe I have to sort through a few things to find that thing that I may need, but I have already what it takes to move on to the next level.
I'm so proud
and
of
that
you.
is something that I think all of us try and convince ourselves, if I had this, if I were that. Well, as soon as I get, and I'm thinking, you get guaranteed tomorrow, you tell me how you did that. So if you aren't moving towards whatever it is that you want today with what you have, then you might want to talk to yourself about procrastinating like I was doing. So that's kind of my little takeaway. Whatever you have right now is absolutely all you need to move to the next level.
Question.
Yes.
When you get to that point that you're moving, because you really, you have a brilliant mind, and you're strong as can
She's
be.
about to nail me to the wall. I can feel it. You know, I'm feeling it now.
No,
Here we
no,
go.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
when you find that you might possibly be doing something to get in your way or to procrastinate, are there things, this is what I'm trying to figure out from you so that I can incorporate that in the things that I'm challenged with. Are there things that you could then say, okay, if I find myself procrastinating and I know these are the steps I have to do, because you're brilliant about writing things out as well.
I write things down, yeah.
Which I'm not as good at. So are there things that you're going to have in place to say, when I procrastinate, boom, I push this button and then this will happen or this will happen to get back on track. Because all of us have great intentions.
Yeah, I can give up one of them today. Today I did not do something that I thought I would do. One of my New Year's resolutions is to get up earlier. And this morning I was up at 6 a.m. So
Did
yesterday,
you stay up? Because I get up and I go right back.
I absolutely stayed up, and then I got knee deep into things that took up more time because I thought I bought myself more time. I planned on working out, and instead of getting my workout in this morning the way I'd planned, and I procrastinated. I gave myself, and because you beat yourself up, you begin to feel badly about yourself, and that wears on you more than actually not doing it. And there may be a point where you can't do it. I couldn't get it done this morning. I have given myself a reward for getting it done today. Good. And so I gave myself a break going, okay, you didn't do it. You can't do it now. Give yourself a break, give yourself a reward. And if I don't get that done, then I got to give myself not necessarily a penalty, but add to it, add something to it. Like, okay, I can give me something. Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out.
Well, here,
You know what I'm
I'll
talking
help
about?
you. No, I'll help you out. So instead of giving yourself the reward, give it to me.
Oh no! I love you, girl. You know I love you, but Gina loves presents, and I'm giving myself some presents.
But listen, let me tell you something. I
love you.
You know, I go to so many seminars. One of the things they say is if you really want to do something badly, take someone you don't like and say, if I don't get this done on this and this date, I have to give that person $500. And let me tell you, that's going to hurt so much that you're going to get it done.
You notice how she picked out how much she thinks I should give her? That was slick.
No, it doesn't have
That
to be
was
to me.
smooth.
It
That
could
was-
be to, but seriously,
I
it could
know,
be to
I know.
anybody. And I was like,
All
I'm
right.
not giving $5.
All right, then I will. Next, this is what I'll do because I'm the one that always feels guilty when you pull up to the light and that guy's sitting right there with the sign, and I'm pretending like I'm fixing my makeup because I'm like, I don't have any money on me. I want to give him something. I have to give the next person. If I don't get it done, the next person I have to give money to. That way, I mean, I'll be passing things out all over Hollywood if I don't get myself together. So yeah.
Yeah, we can get a whole show going because I really have a problem with that. I spent 6 months when I was with the previous real estate company, and I got 8 people together, and we actually got into this big truck. We stopped a bunch of people on the corners. We said, we're going to be here in this and this time. We've got a place for you to come shower a couple of times a week. We've got some jobs lined up, all kinds of things. Come and meet us on Monday at 11 o'clock so you don't have to get up at the crack of dawn. And out of, I think, 11 people we talked to, 2 showed up.
But you know what? That's a really good statistic. That's almost 20%. That's a fantastic statistic.
And the only other thing while I'm on the subject of giving is I came out of Whole Foods once with a client of mine, and we had just gotten a sandwich for lunch, and because we were crazy, we were going to like eat in the car or whatever. We just couldn't stop looking at homes, and we sat down, and this guy, as we were packing the car, he said, you know, could I have a few bucks? And I looked at him and I said, well, I don't really feel comfortable giving you a few bucks, but if you're hungry, I said, here's my sandwich. I'm about to eat it. He said, thank you. He said, but quite frankly, I'm an alcoholic. I just want a pint of vodka. And I wanted to give him $20 for his honesty.
You know what? I did once. I did. The guy said, I just want to get a drink. And I'm like, I'm looking at you. You look like you could use a drink. You know, I gave him $5.
Let me join you. Let's go to the
yeah,
bar.
seriously. Well, didn't want to sit with him. But no, seriously, it's sometimes there's a certain amount of honesty that's refreshing about that. But if I don't do what I say that I'm going to do, next person, at least I'll know who I'm giving it to.
Absolutely.
I roll down the window and I hand them some money, and that's my job if I don't get it done. But I have discovered, especially since it's only the 6th of the year, that it is. I feel much worse about not doing that thing right now that I was all geared up to do on December 31st. And so rather than deal with all that pain, I've decided I'm either going to just get up and get it done because it's a lot worse in my head than when I actually do it.
Isn't that the truth for everything? When you're about to talk to someone that you have a problem with and you get on the phone, you go, oh, because we do this. Well, if he says this, I'm going to say that.
Yeah.
And then they say nothing of the sort. They say, thanks for reaching out. I've been meaning to apologize to you. And you're like, I just spent 3 days in my friggin' head trying to figure this out, and you're like totally okay with it.
Got worked up into a lather. I know I did. I did. So you're right. I mean, but when it comes to the resolution, resolve to actually live with what is happening. Don't create things that aren't there, including pain and pressure and upset. And in my particular, my advice is use what you've got. Chances are you've got whatever it takes to move you there. And that is a resolution, even if it's just to clean your house once a week, you know? Put the vacuum in the middle of the floor until you get upset about seeing it. And then,
Okay, so I am allowing you to hold me accountable.
Oh, girl.
For the, I know you don't like to do that because you're worried I'm going to hold you accountable, but I won't.
I'm not volunteering anything. Yeah.
No, I know, but I'm willing to have you hold me accountable, even in just something saying, "Hey, how is your being on time going?"
Okay.
Because I don't take that as, first of all, it also depends on who says what to me. And whatever you say to me, I never take that out for more than anything else than that you care. And I just know that I'm going to need that. It is going to be, like John said earlier, it's going to take a habit and it's going to take a while. And okay, I do have to make one more confession.
Go ahead.
I'm a Candy Crush addict.
I noticed.
What is Candy Crush?
I am a Candy Crush addict. There, I've said it. I even said I'm going to do a retreat. I would be shocked at how many people would show up to see if we can go 5 days without going near it, asking for a life, sending a life. I am up till 2:30 in the morning. And now, instead of like forwarding the clock on my cell phone so I can get more lives, now I'm playing. What's the other one? It's the little animal, like the little squiggly ones. I play that one, and then I play Pet Rescue. And do not send me any more requests because I promise you, I am not going to say yes. I've said no to all of this stuff for 4 years.
Oh my!
I broke down. Julia said to me, "Don't start. You're going to get addicted." Well. What do you do with somebody who you can't tell them not to lose anything? She said, "Don't start." What do you think that meant?
Start.
Start and show her how you won't get addicted. Wrong answer. So I'm addicted to that. So that's another resolution, is that I am not going to be up till 2:30 in the morning, so I can't get up at 7 to go to the gym from 8 to 9.
Set your alarm for a time that you think is reasonable
And
for
play
you
it
to
on the treadmill.
for you to go to bed. For you to go to bed.
You know what?
Oh no, girl! Did you see that? She just handed. It's like handing someone crack cocaine. Going, "Here, you want a taste? I'm giving this back to you."
Good for you.
She's a pusher. She's right on the end.
No, I love her. It's ridiculous. And so I'm not going to do that anymore. Now, we have a rule in the office that no one's allowed to play it. And obviously, Gina doesn't. No one's allowed to play
I
it
don't go to the
during work
office.
time.
Yeah.
So what happens when everyone's gone to sleep and you've watched whatever you could watch? You're just like, "Oh, let me check in." I used to do Words with Friends, which
I was
was
about
reasonable.
to say that was. I thought that was her last. Yeah.
But you know what? With Words with Friends, it's like there's a word, you answer, and then by the time they send you an answer back, you're good. You've answered it. But here, it's never ending. So I cannot believe we're already like coming to the end of our show.
Wait a minute. I've got our resolution.
Give me.
Ready?
Yeah.
Anita and Gina are resolving to stop playing games on computers, on phones, and games that get us nowhere, and playing the game that is our life. Better, and with more excitement and enthusiasm. Is that all right?
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, Gina, I thank you. And because I don't know where else you could find her, but you could certainly find her under www.richrealestatela.com because, Facebook, forget that. She's not going to go on Facebook.
I'm on her team. No. It's like limited access right here,
Well,
sweetheart.
hopefully we'll find her more here on the show.
Well, yeah, I hope so because she's beyond great. So you can follow us on Facebook.com/The Rich Life Radio. You can also go to ubnradio.com and you can find out whoever's been on the show. You could send us information. You could see podcasts of previous shows. I'm always looking for something amazing. I'm always looking for people who could add to the world. Just like Gina St. John, I can't thank you enough. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you
a
for having
pleasure
me.
to have you here. So we got Facebook. I just want you to know that I will be here next Monday live, coming to you live, and
Happy
as
New Year.
always, Happy New Year, and I love you. Mean it.
Happy New Year, my love.